You've heard whispers of the Wendigo, but what you don't know might keep you awake tonight. The Wendigo is not just a monster, it's a curse born from hunger. Legends say that in the dead of winter, when starvation sets in, some humans turn to the unthinkable, cannibalism. Eating the flesh of another human doesn't just break morality, it breaks the soul. And those who crossed that line were transformed into something inhuman. But here's where it gets worse. Some stories say the Wendigo doesn't just feast on bodies, it devours souls. Once it touches you, it can strip your spirit away and trap it inside itself, leaving nothing but an empty shell. A living body walking around, but no soul inside. That's how it grows, not only in size, but in power. And the horror doesn't stop there. The Wendigo is said to grow taller and thinner with every person it consumes. Skeletal limbs, stretched skin, a stomach that's always empty, cursed to starve forever. No matter how much it eats, its hunger only grows stronger. But the most terrifying ability of all, it can mimic human voices. Imagine walking through the forest at night and hearing your mother, your child, or your best friend calling your name. You follow the sound, but what's waiting isn't someone you love, it's death. Some say it's 15 feet tall, with glowing eyes, yellow fangs, and the stench of rot in the air. Others believe it doesn't even need to touch you. It can slip into your dreams, luring you deeper into the woods where no one ever comes back. And the creepiest fact of all, people believe the Wendigo is still out there. Reports of skeletal figures in the frozen forests of Canada and Minnesota, hunters hearing voices that shouldn't exist, campers vanishing without a trace. So next time you feel like something's watching you from the tree line, remember, if it calls your name, it may already own your soul. Because after this, I'll show you real footage moments so disturbing, they might be the closest thing to proof that monsters like this still exist. The 17th of August, 2004 deep in the Black Hills National Forest, South Dakota. A group of friends were out on a late summer camping trip. The sun had just dipped below the horizon and the forest was starting to drown in shadows. At first, everything seemed normal, the crackle of the campfire, the sound of crickets, the distant rustle of leaves in the wind. But then, something changed. One of them pulled out a phone, trying to capture the peace of the evening. That's when the audio picked up something terrifying. From the trees came a sound, not an animal, not the wind, but a chilling, distorted scream, long, hollow, and unlike anything human. Locals have always whispered about creatures in these woods. Some say the Wendigo roams here at night, feeding on fear, feeding on souls. What this group recorded that evening is bone-chilling, and if you listen closely, you'll hear exactly why people refuse to camp here after dark. The 9th of July, 2007 midnight, somewhere along the back roads cutting through Ontario's Algonquin Provincial Park. A teenage boy had just finished visiting a friend in the nearby town. Too late for buses and too far to walk, he hopped on his bike to take the quickest path home, through the woods. The night was still, too still. No sound of owls, no rustle of raccoons, just the crunch of his tires on gravel and the faint beam of his headlight carving through the darkness. Locals had warned him about this road. They say once the clock strikes midnight, the forest wakes up with something else, something ancient, something hungry. But the boy didn't believe in stories until that ride. Because as he pedaled deeper into the trees, he began to hear it. A faint echo at first, like a cry. Then, twisted screams rising from the shadows. And what he heard next was enough to make him never ride that road again. was late one evening, deep in the backwoods of Arizona. Two friends decided to take a shortcut through the forest, laughing, recording everything on their little handheld camera. At first, everything seemed normal, just the crunch of dry leaves, the cool air, and the sound of their own footsteps. But then, one of them froze. Off in the distance, they spotted something pale, something moving. At first, they whispered, "Must be a cow, right?" But as they stepped closer, their laughter faded. What stood in the trees was no cow. It was too tall, too thin, its skin sickly white, stretched tight across bone. Its movements twisted, unnatural, almost human, but not human. The creature turned its head slowly, and its empty eyes locked right on them. The friends didn't wait to find out what it was. Their camera shook, their voices panicked as they bolted through the trees. Some say it was a skinwalker. Others whisper it could have been a Wendigo. But one thing's certain, whatever it wasn't supposed to be there. And once you see the footage, you'll never walk a forest trail the same way again.
Is that a cow? What is that? Oh, frick!
It was the summer of 2004, somewhere deep in the Black Hills forest of South Dakota. A young couple decided to escape the noise of the city and spend the weekend camping under the stars. At first, everything was peaceful, the crackle of the fire, the smell of pine, and the quiet hum of the night. But then, the girl noticed something strange. A figure drifting slowly between the trees, not walking, not running, but floating. They picked up their camera, zooming in, and what they captured was bone-chilling.
You see that? Over there, look, over there. You see that?
What the hell?
Wait, because that was it again, right there. Wait.
I don't like this.
You see that? Right there. Look.
Oh my god. I don't like this.
Okay, fuck. Go. Fuck.
A pale, soul-like figure, the shape of a man but hollow, gliding across the darkness of the jungle. Seconds later, the silence shattered. A blood-curdling scream tore through the forest so loud, so sharp, it didn't sound human. The couple froze, their breath trembling, their hearts pounding, as the soul seemed to scream right at them. Some say they caught the spirit of the Wendigo, a creature doomed to roam the woods, forever hungry for human souls. Others believe what they saw was something even worse. But one thing's for sure, this is not a video you'll ever forget. And if you think that was terrifying, hold on, because I have even more stories just like this one. Encounters so creepy, so unexplainable, they'll make you question everything you thought you knew about the world. From skinwalkers, to real ghost encounters, to footage so disturbing it should have never been caught on camera. So stick around, because this is just the beginning. Hit subscribe and join me as we uncover the scariest things hiding in the dark.